This is James Holder for IFL TV in association with Macklin's Gym Marbella. With me, I've got Peter McDonagh, aka the MGM's Love Doctor. What's happening, Pete?
How you doing, James?
I'm alright, you?
Yeah, very good, mate.
Good. What's happening? There's been a lot of speculation regarding your next fight on Twitter today. Can you give me any information?
I mean, there's been talk of it for a while now. Obviously, my manager Daniel's in negotiations at the moment with Dean Byrne's people. Looks like the fight could be made for November time. So just waiting now on a date, and if it's Dean Byrne or who the opponent is, leave it to the boss.
If it is Dean Byrne, how confident are you can get that win? He's mixed at a very good level, Dean.
Yeah, no, I'm very confident. I wouldn't take the fight otherwise. I think Dean Byrne's a very good fighter. Trained with Freddie Roach, sparred Manny Pacquiao. All top fighters he sparred with. He's mixed in good company. But I believe I'm at that good company, and I'm part of that good company, and I believe that I can beat him on the night.
Well, you've mixed at a good level yourself. I said for a long time you was regarded as a gatekeeper to the top 10 in Britain. Do you now feel with the backing you've got of the MGM and with not having lost in 2 years, you've sort of lost that tag and pushed forward a bit?
Yeah, no, most definitely. I think people are looking at me differently. We all know this. We all know boxing's a business, and I ain't got to sit here and say, oh, I beat him, or I got rubbed in out. Listen, it's all about your last fight. I'm 2 years unbeaten. All the fights I've had in the past. Listen, people have seen him live on BoxNation. People have seen him live on Sky Sports. People have seen me live on Channel 5. I've been everywhere. I've boxed everywhere. I've done everything the hard way. And people have seen that I've beat certain people, ain't got decision. But let's not ramble on about that. Let's talk about, hopefully next fight, Dean Byrne. And a 3-weight champion. Well, 4-weight champion I become.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on in current affairs. Obviously, Mayweather-Berto coming up billed as Mayweather's last fight. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that fight, people seem to put down the fight and, he should be fighting this person, he should be fighting that. Listen, Floyd Mayweather has fought everyone they've put in front of him, right? And he's, Canelo was going to beat him, this person was going to beat him. I mean, the man's a master. He's a master at what he does, and I don't see this as an easy fight, because if he takes it as an easy fight, it could be like the McDONAGH fight and the first McDONAGH fight, and he could struggle in it. But I think Mayweather's going to be totally professional about this fight. But when they turn around and say this is his last fight, don't be fooled. I told everyone what was going to happen, and I guarantee you it happens. He will fight Manny Pacquiao in his 50th fight.
Even with the controversy of the first one not living up to people's so-called expectations, Pacquiao sort of in the camp with kind of the excuse of the injury and the shoulder. Do you still think it's got the same appeal for a big fight at the 50th? It's
still going to have the same appeal because, listen, I was at the fight. I was at the first fight, and on my way out, to me, it I didn't enjoy the fight really. But every single other person that walked out of the venue was saying, "I'll definitely come and watch that again." And what you've got to realise, look at the Filipinos, look at, the Americans, the Filipinos, they'll all go and watch that fight again. I could see, the fight I could see is Amir Khan fights Pacquiao, Pacquiao beats Khan, and then fights Mayweather. And that's how they'll make the fight. I don't think they'll make the fight direct. I think they'll make the fight indirectly. He'll fight Khan first, and then he'll fight Mayweather.
I've seen you a lot of the time in Tyson Fury's camp. I know you get on very well with them. How do you see Tyson Fury's chances of beating Vladimir Klitschko in Germany?
It's hard because when he's a close friend, I know he's training like a Trojan. I'll go out to his camp within the next few weeks just to see him, maybe for a day or two, and just wish him luck, obviously. But listen, it's a big task, and people to turn around and say, this could make Tyson Fury like a legend overnight, because Klitschko ain't been beaten all them years. Tyson Fury's, if there's anyone that can beat Klitschko, Vladimir Klitschko, it's going to be Tyson Fury, because he's got the height, he's got the movement, he's got the agility. But one thing, he always finds a way to win Klitschko. And it's a big uphill task for him. But Tyson should perform on a big stage, because he don't seem to get himself up for the littler fights, So it's a very, very interesting fight. Very interesting fight. An exciting fight, very interesting fight. And if you ain't got a ticket to go to that fight yet, as a boxing fan, I honestly believe that is a 50-50 fight.
I know you love big fights. I know you love getting out and watching the big fights. Probably Miguel Cotto taking on Canelo Alvarez is probably one of the biggest fights that we will see in a long time. Have you any plans to go out and get involved fight week for that?
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully, if I'll become victorious on in November, that'll be my present going out to the fight. Because I'll be honest with you, I went out to the Pacquiao Mayweather, you know. But let me tell you something: from a fighter, and a fighting fan, that is going to be whether that lasts 3 rounds, 12 rounds. That's going to be an unbelievable fight. I can see that being like a Hagler Hearns again. You know, it's going to be an amazing fight. And do you know what though? I'm going to go somewhere here. I'm going to pick Cotto to beat him. Yeah, I'm going to pick Cotto to beat him because Cotto's a very, very good boxer. You know, and if you look at the Mayweather fight, I know Mayweather did win the fight, but he give Mayweather a good fight, you know. And I fancy Cotto to win that fight.
What do you think he's got to do, Cotto, to be victorious? Because you know what he's going to bring to the fight. You know what he's going to do. What can he do to beat Canelo Alvarez, in your opinion?
Just keep moving, keep giving him movement, use his jab, you know, and then when he comes close, just tie him up, push him off, and go to work again. You know, I mean, people will think I'm mad giving that predicament, but listen, let me tell you something. I don't get many wrong when it comes to fights. I'm not saying that all the time I get them right, but I don't get, and I just think styles and, you know, he's going to be bigger without a doubt. But I think he's going to come in like Cotto, and then just try and keep his movement going and box him. He's a very, very good boxer, Cotto. You know, so it's going to be an interesting fight.
There's a lot of big fights going on. A lot of big fights in sort of the middle stages of development, hopefully being announced. So
yeah. You got Lee Askins on that bill as well.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
I see that. Yeah. Hennessy, is he with Hennessy Sports, Askins?
Yeah, he's with Hennessy Sports, and I mean, if he can go out there and he can turn over, is it Caballero, isn't it?
I'm not 100% sure.
Caballero,
I'll have to
yeah.
double check, to be honest.
Yeah,
I only saw on Twitter that Askins was in it.
If he goes over there and turns him over, I mean, that'd be a big win, you know. So, listen, British boxing's in a very, very good state at the moment. Obviously we've totally forgot about George Groves.
That's a good point.
Who's fighting Budu Jack? I mean,
that's a very good point.
You know, let's see how Groves travels. You know, Budu Jack is beatable, but I think again it's a tough fight for George Groves. But fair play to him for taking the fight, going out there. You know, obviously it's a world title fight. You swim across the sea to fight for a world title. Well, most fighters would. And yeah, no, I mean, I'm sick, obviously, with the Billy Joe Saunders incident. You know, hard luck to Billy Joe Saunders, obviously getting a cut. But yeah, no, I mean, I was really looking forward to that fight. That was another 50-50 fight. This was good, James, because no matter what level of fight is that, listen, put 2 donkeys in a derby, right? You're gonna get a good race, ain't you? You know, that's what they've got to do with boxing. You know, they've got to let people fight each other now. Forget unbeaten records. Unbeaten records don't mean nothing. My favourite saying, records are for DJs. It's 100% records are for DJs. And I'll tell you for why, right? Who's your favourite fighter?
My favourite fighter of all time?
Yeah.
Probably Sugar Ray Leonard.
He got beat. You know? My favourite fighter, Roberto Duran. He got beat. You know? One of the greatest men ever. People rate as the greatest man ever. Muhammad Ali. He got beat. You know, so I don't know. I don't think Mayweather will give up till he gets beat.
It's an interesting point. Do you think, obviously, when you look at some of the fighters you just listed, they went on probably past their best years, then suffered probably their defeats. Do you think Mayweather's doing the right thing in terms of giving up? He's not going to retire.
He's not going to retire.
If he does decide to retire after the Berto fight.
Tell you another thing I know. He's already signed a deal with a free channel in America for another 3-fight deal. So we know he's going to have 52 fights.
Go on, Pete Heyman.
Calm
down, Pete
That's
Heyman.
the way it is, you know what I mean, James? When you know the game, you know what I mean? When you know the insides to it, you know what I mean?
That's funny. All right. Well, listen, I think we've covered enough topics for today, Pete.
But again, before we finish,
go on.
Good luck to Tyson Fury, and let's hope he can bring all them world titles back because it'd be great for England.
Yeah.
You know, good luck to George Groves, who's obviously, you know, he could be another world champion. You know, and obviously Lee Askins. You know, so fair play to them. They're all fighting abroad as well. You know, and none of them are bothered to go out there. They're just going to go out and fight out there. Some fighters don't want to leave their home. Not going to, you know, you ain't got to mention no names, nothing. But some fighters don't want to leave their home. So good luck to them all.